What's up everybody, my name is Victor Mutua and this is Get Check, brought to you by Cameras Africa. So today we're going to be talking about the second part of, or kind of the first part of your filmmaking journey, which is actually the idea, the story, the concept, the script. Now this can be broken down into 4 parts, but the first part is, well, the idea. And for that part, you need literally one of the most essential and most underrated filmmaking equipment that you are ever going to need, and that is your notebook. No joke, a notebook is quintessential to your filmmaking career, to your filmmaking journey, to your filmmaking process, because your notebook is where you're going to put down all of your ideas for your scripts, for your stories, for your short films, and for your documentaries. You're going to have to write them down before you go digital, before you turn them into a script. It's just good to have a notebook in order to jot down your ideas, your concepts, all of these things in a simple place that you can read, that doesn't need charge, and that is just easy to use, readily available. And all you need is your notebook, your pen, and a free will mind, and that's it. So yeah, guys, a notebook is quintessential for your filmmaking journey. Plus, it looks much better when you show up for a meeting, not just with your laptop, but the notebook as well. It really goes a long way. So get your notebooks and, as I said, jot down your ideas. So that is the first part of your filmmaking series. It starts from an idea, and when I say an idea, I don't mean an idea born from something else. Granted, a lot of times you might hear that there's nothing new under the sun, but I think we're about 4 billion people on Earth, and there's no way in hell you can tell me that of all those 4 billion, everything that ever has or ever will be has already been done. I think there's room for so much more expansion when it comes to filmmaking or documentaries or short films. So jot down your ideas and then build from there. And when I say your ideas, I mean, if you're going to choose to make a short film, a documentary, or any content, then the idea or the story of something that you want to shoot, or the concept, has to be centered around something that you want to see. Do not create or do not build on an idea for the mass market unless that is your main goal for your idea. If it's, let's say, for a concept for an advertisement for a product, then you have to think of it for the mass market, for everyone. But if you want to make something true to you, something uniquely yours, something that will actually be driven by passion and, like something you'll actually love doing, then go with an idea that you want to see on the big picture. So keep that in mind whenever you choose to build an idea or a concept. Make something that you want to see. Keep that in mind. So now that you have your notebook, you put down your ideas, and your ideas could come from anywhere. You could be literally sitting in a matatu, you could have woken up right now and you just have a weird dream in your head. Write it down. You never know. You'll be surprised how some of the concepts for these high budget films, come from some weird ideas. But yeah, so notebook, idea, concept, story. So now that you have your idea, your concept in mind, the next thing you're going to need to do is build on that idea or concept. And for this part, it comes down to 2 things. If you want the story to be built upon with a crew of people, then keep it to a limited number of people that you entrust with your vision, that you know will give you the best in line with what you know that they're capable of. What I mean by this is, if you have a concept, if you have an idea and you want to build it into a script, you want to flesh it out, you want to give it parts, and all of that part, then you need to figure out if this is something that you want to build on your own, which is still okay, by the way, or if it's something that you want to build with a crew of people that you trust with your ideas, because you cannot trust everyone and anyone with your ideas. These could be $1 million ideas or concepts, and you never know who you might trust your idea with. You might give it to one person to build up on it, and then he or she might go and steal it and make money off of it, and that stuff really hurts. So if you're going to build on a concept, figure that out beforehand. Is it something that I want to build with a crew of people with the like-mind vision and people that I trust, or is something that I want to build on my own and then bring a crew on later on? So figure out which one you want to go with, and then you're good to go from there. And after you've done all of that, all that remains is the script. Now for the scripting, I personally prefer to start with the AV script. Is an audio visual script. It is the simplest, most basic script that you can do at the beginning of your production process. And this is because it's literally just Microsoft Word or whatever, and you literally make down a box or you collect a table and you put down one side for the audio and one side for the video. So on one side you type out what you're going to hear, and on the video side you type out what we're going to see. And these do need to correspond with, you know, things like, are we inside a house, are we outside, time of day, and location. So on one side audio you might write down the script, the dialogue between the characters that we see in the video, and then in the video put down what we're going to see, give it detail, give it width, give it allocation, give it a time, give it, you know, build out your video, give a visual experience of what we're going to see. So that's the most basic AV script. And the reason why I say such with that is it gets a bit annoying to, let me say, alter scripts, especially if you're using scripting software like Celtex, and sometimes when it comes to formatting them, it can get a bit iffy and you might mess up something and then find like half of the entire script is gone. So I prefer to do the AV script and then build on that, and then from there you can either choose to copy paste or move it on to Celtex, which is a scripting software that I personally recommend. It is, if I'm not wrong, I don't remember if it's paid or if it's free, but it is a really good script writing software that gives you the nice format for actual Hollywood type scripts. So with that in mind, that is the first, and let me say the primary part of the filmmaking process. Start with the idea, jot it down, build it into a concept, give it, you know, a bit of breadth. It's just, you know, it's an idea, but give it something more. Give it a synopsis, give it, you know, a summary of what that idea is, and then build on that idea either with a crew or as an individual and turn it into an audiovisual script that can then be turned into a full-fledged script. With that in mind, tell me or share us your ideas, or if you have any comments up until where we've reached on how to build on your ideas and turn them into scripts, comment, call us, you know, DM us and ask and bother us, and because we are here to help you in every part of this process. But up until now, this is, I would call it part 2 or part 1, or building on part 1 of the essentials of filmmaking. So keep that in mind, and also get your notebooks, guys. We are going to get into quite a bit of learning. That being said, this was Yechek, and I will see you soon.